We've got tons of information, so let's just get right into it. Online leagues are back and better than ever. They support 30-team leagues with 1 to 30 human teams. They have a fully featured fantasy draft, fully adjustable setup options, including the season length, the difficulty, the sliders, etc. Every admin control you can think of. And they say if you want more, just let us know in the forums. Flex scheduling, which means you can play any game at any time, and custom roster support. Classic League with our new classic teams. Wow, all of these leagues are going to be private, invite-only leagues. This is unbelievable. At the end of a season, you can continue to the second season. In season 2, you can either keep the same roster that you had, or you can restart it over, whatever you did, a fantasy draft. This is very exciting news because before 2K introduced the My Career mode, this is where I used to play. I used to play in online leagues. It was crazy. It was the most fun, but they slowly dropped support. They got worse and worse over the years, but now they're giving us everything that we wanted to have in this mode, and that's just great for all the online league players out there that have been begging 2K to give all of these features for years. Next up, we're talking MyGm, a new feature which is team relocation. Now in MyGm, you're only the GM, so in order to move a team, you have to get approval from the owner first. But they're saying that they're going to be more than willing to do it if you can complete their goals and whatever they want for the team to get done. So you get to pick a city. Now the interesting thing is when you pick a city, you can then decide where you want the team to be. Do you want to build the arena downtown? Do you want to put it in the suburbs? This is unbelievable. You can change the team branding. You can even design the arena, and it looks very similar to the Pro-Am design, which makes me think that even for a mode like My Team, we're gonna have this same customization. I think that's what's coming. This is great news once again, because in order to relocate a team and do all this, you're gonna need money, and you can get the money by making a profit with your team. So it's all about leveling up, and this is crazy. I'm gonna have to make a MyGm this year. That's how good it is. There's a process with this. So apparently you have to submit an application to relocate the team, and it has to go up for voting, the relocation committee voting, and the deadline is March 31st. And then during the deadline, you get to talk to the other owners, give them an opinion on the city that you're going to be moving to, the demographics. This is on another level here. This is crazy. There's another feature called League Realignment. If you move a team and that team goes to a different division or a different conference, wherever it goes, then on the standings in the NBA, they have to move that team around. If you were the New York Knicks and you go to California, you can't be in the Atlantic Division on the East Coast anymore. You got to go to the Pacific Division. 2K has also changed how the offseason works now. It's going to be much more detailed. Let's talk about the draft lottery. This year, when you're drafting, there's going to be a commentator that's going to give you an analysis, or a reporter that's going to give you an analysis of each team as every pick is revealed. They're doing this to create suspense, to make the presentation more like in real life. If you've ever watched the draft before, then you know that they have a bunch of reporters. They talk about each team, who they think they should take. And then when they're taken, they even say, you know, we'll give him some comparisons to this guy and that guy. Next up is staff hiring. Now this time period lasts for 7 days. You have the ability to hire staff away from other teams or promote from within your own. The most interesting position will obviously be the head coach position. Now you can try to lure away somebody else from another team because different coaches have different ambitions. Other teams will actually do the same thing to your coaches. They'll try to recruit your coaches, and you have a choice. You can either grant them permission for an interview or you can deny that interview. But if you deny the interview, then your staff, they get upset with you. They get frustrated. This promotion system is crazy. They're saying that your head scout, you could promote your head scout to the assistant coach if he performs well, if he develops skills. The NBA draft has been tweaked, so now you can skip picks. The first 3 picks are going to be given the most attention. Those picks are so important, so there's going to be college stats. They're gonna have tweet reactions from the fans. So now let's talk about the Summer League. The way that this is gonna work is that your team is gonna get invited to one of the 3 Summer Leagues. You can use these games to see what the rookies are all about, and the format is gonna be exactly like it is in real life. Now let's talk about the 2K Hoop Summit. This is very, very interesting. In the off season, there's a way for you to play with the best players in next year's draft class. So the US team is comprised of the best domestically born prospects, while the world team is comprised of the best international prospects. So this is your first look at that incoming draft class, and this will give you an idea of whether or not you're thinking about moving up in the draft to get some of these guys. Now let's talk about team building. There's a new feature called Team State, where every team will give you an idea of where they're trying to go with their team. So you can look at the players that are untouchable on the roster. You can look at players that they're thinking about getting or going after, maybe in the draft or by trades. This way you have a better idea of the league and teams, so you know how to make your moves accordingly. You can figure out if a team is contending, if they're buying, if they're selling, if they're rebuilding. Finally, let's talk about Simcast Live. This is basically a hybrid between simulating a game and playing the game. You won't be controlling player movement, but you'll be pulling all the strings. You'll call the plays on both ends of the court. You'll make substitutions as needed. You'll make changes to the POE, the points of emphasis. To get through games quicker, you can adjust the speed of the simulation on the fly from normal speed to 6x the normal speed. But the best feature is that at any time, if you want to hop on the sticks and actually play, you can make that transition. You can go from doing all this to jumping right in there with your controller and then controlling your team and playing, and then back to Simcast. This information is beautiful. They also added 3 team trades. You can also turn off autosave now. This is a really long read of information. I got the link to the full interview, the full blog write-up on operationsports.com. It's in the description. It's a very long read, so if you have time, you can dig in there and get all the details, much more than what I summarized here in this video. Let me know what you think of all these revamps. Make It Splash and Shot Clock Cheese cases are now available for the iPhone 5, the iPhone 5S, and the iPhone 6. You can get these on my website at shop.chrissmoove.com. Double team cheese, and here it goes.
Probably should hold for one shot.
Ref, come on, ref. Oh my gosh. I give up. Just score. Just score already. Look at this. They didn't take that 3.
No good on the shot.
Oh my god, shot clock cheese. Oh, I gave up.